Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Ananda Rizky Akbar with student ID number 202003400106. Today I want to inform you about my paper presentation. My paper presentation title is Knowledge of Halitosis in Undergraduate Students of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Science UMY. This slide will explain you about the step of this PowerPoint. The first step is introduction, and next is theoretical framework. After that is research method, and the fourth step is result. After that is discussion, and the last step is conclusion. Okay, we enter the first step. The first step is introduction. Human breath is composed of highly component substance which can generate unpleasant situation like halitosis. Halitosis is an oral health problem where the main symptoms is bad smelling breath. This condition is common complaint for both genders and for all age groups. In most cases, finding the causes of the bad breath is the first step toward treating this prevent this condition. Halitosis is very common in general population, and more than 50% of the general population have halitosis. It's from Nashnani 2011. Riset Kesehatan Dasar or Riskesdas says that in Indonesia, many dental disease is still occur. About 72.3% of Indonesian people have dental health problems. If the tooth has a problem, it is certain that oral hygiene will be bad and can cause halitosis. This study will investigate the knowledge of bad breath in the Faculty of Medicine and Health Science UMY. Okay, this slide is still introduction. This research describes the etiology of halitosis, the impact of halitosis, and the treatment of halitosis. Specifically, we were interested in the following 5 questions that guided our research. The first, halitosis is state of bad breath due to poor oral hygiene. The second, the smell of bad breath comes from the food debris. And the next, bad breath can be a sign of other systematic disease. The fourth, bad breath can disrupt the psychology. And the last, by brushing your teeth, bad breath will disappear soon. Okay, the next step is theoretical framework. The term halitosis comes from the Latin halitus, which means breath, and the suffix osis comes from the Greek word meaning abnormal condition. It's from Ghani, Dudala, Muteni, and Pabolu 2012. Halitosis is one of the social problems that has existed for a long time, recorded in the literature for thousands of years. The problem of bad breath is also already mentioned by the Jews, Romans, Greeks, Chinese, Arabs, and others. However, modern literature discussing halitosis was only published in the 19th century. Research fundamental of breath malodor said that halitosis is created due to the presence of odorous gas in the air coming out of the cavity mouth. Therefore, many studies that study the causes of focus on the identification of the gas. Volatile sulfur compounds are gases that are responsible for the development of halitosis. According Dental Research 2016, there are 3 main amino acids which from FSCS, namely hydrogen sulfide, methyl mercaptan, and dimethyl sulfide. Halitosis is a problem that has plagued people for thousands of years, ranking third among reasons for patient visit to the dentist. It can be detected organoleptically and instrumentically using sulfide monitors or gas chromatography. Although the results from these different methods are not always consistent, the prevalence of halitosis differs worldwide due to variations in smell perception among people of different races and cultures, lack of uniformity in evaluation, and difference between self-perception and reports of clinically detectable halitosis. Okay, the next step is research method. This type of research is a quantitative research, where this research was conducted to examine the knowledge, perception, and prevalence of halitosis in the Faculty of Medicine and Health Science UMY. The data obtained from this study come from the results of questionnaires distributed to 30 students of the Faculty of Medicine and Health Science UMY. In the questionnaire, there will be several questions indicating the knowledge of bad breath. This study will use Likert scale, where 1 is very agree and 5 is very disagree. The study begins with filling in the consent of the participant. After the participants agree, they could answer some of the questions on the questionnaire. Then the consent questionnaire was approved and had answered all the questions about bad breath. The data collect and analyze univariate data by means of computerized to calculate the percentage. Okay, the next step is research. Data is collected and analyzed using distributed form, and the research will be presented using table. This table will show the frequency of respondents' knowledge about bad breath or halitosis. Based on data from the table, about 61.1% of respondents strongly agree that bad breath come from poor oral hygiene, then 33.3% of respondents choose to agree. It shows that most of respondents are already know about halitosis and one of the causes, and more than 50% of respondents choose to agree about the smell of halitosis come from food debris. Then 36.1% of respondents choose strongly agree. It means some respondents already know that the smell of halitosis come from food debris, when in fact the smell of halitosis can arise from several conditions as well, such as gas from stomach and acid, or possibly other systematic disease. And 0.3% of respondents choose strongly agree that brushing teeth can eliminate bad breath immediately, and 41.7% of respondents choose strongly agree. It shows that some respondents still think that bad breath can go away just by brushing their teeth, even though to get rid of halitosis they must go through several treatments. Okay, the next step is discussion. Based on the data that has been collected, some respondents already understand what halitosis and its effect. However, some respondents still have confusion about the etiology and treatment that can be done when experiencing halitosis. By knowing halitosis, people can determine the right treatment planning, and they will be able to take preventive measures so they don't get halitosis. This relates to the result of a study entitled Prevalence, Knowledge and Perception of Halitosis in Clinical College Students Faculty of Dentistry USU. This study says that respondents are sometimes still confused about the causes and proper treatment for halitosis. It is very clear that people still lack knowledge about dental and oral health, especially about halitosis. For this reason, health workers must provide socialization regarding this matter so that the incidence of halitosis doesn't get bigger and can be resolved immediately. The limitation of this study is that it doesn't cover all representatives from each study programs at the Faculty of Medicine and Health Science UMY. So the resulting data cannot conclude that all students at that faculty. Okay, the last step is conclusion. This research has conducted a survey to students of the Medical and Health Science Faculty of UMY. The results obtained indicate that students already understand enough about halitosis and its effect. However, some students still lack knowledge about the etiology and treatment for halitosis. This can be seen in the results of the questionnaire, where some students are still hesitant to determine the etiology and apparent treatment for halitosis. This study produced data that can be used as an illustration of the magnitude of public knowledge about halitosis. This data can also be used as material for government evaluation related to public knowledge about disease of the teeth and mouth. Considering the data where there are still many people who lack knowledge about halitosis, we recommend to the government or health workers to disseminate information about dental and oral hygiene, especially regarding halitosis. Okay, this is some reference that I use for the paper presentation. And maybe enough for me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.